right, Dungeons and Dragons, the 20 Sided Tavern, coming to the Broadway Playhouse August 12th through September 28th. Madelyn Murphy, a Chicagoland native, returning here. Thank you so much for your time today.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for asking me to speak with you today.
I mean, let's talk a little bit about your history with the show. You got your start here, over 200 shows in New York, and now you're bringing the show on tour and you're coming back to Chicago.
Oh, it's such a dream for me. I was born in the suburbs and went to school in the suburbs, went to school at University of Illinois, lived in Chicago for 5.5 years. I am a Chicago gal. So to be in New York and then get to bring it to my hometown is just the absolute dream.
Tell me a little bit about the show, just like the history of it, and what people can expect. It's a kind of an intersection between improv and gaming and theater.
Yes, that's a perfect way of putting it. It's all couched also within the playing of Dungeons and Dragons, but whether you absolutely love D&D or you know nothing about it, that's not really what it's about. It is, as you said, the experience of it's an immersive, interactive, theatrical production. There's nothing else like it in the world because as the audience, you come in as our fourth player and you are actively building the story with us as we go. So what it is it's a super inclusionary kind of community space where we're all telling a story together. And that story that we make is told for the first and last time. So it's a singular event every single time in a fantasy world. And I specifically just love how whether you're 8 years old or 88 years old, the whole point is there is a space for you at the table and you are coming and you're actively contributing to something.
Because obviously, with the show, you might see and you're like, oh, I know how this theater production goes, but you come here multiple times, it's never going to be the same show twice.
Never. And again, I've had the privilege of doing the show hundreds of times now. No one show is the same. And I think that actually we are really lucky that we have found our audiences. Some folks have come to the show dozens of times now. And they even are, developing a bingo card. They're trying to be like, I want to see this actor play this role in this context. And the iterations, I think the gaming tech and the way that the show can end, there's hundreds of thousands of permutations. And that is just the way that the game can function. Then you add in the actors and you want to see this actor play this specific role. And you want to see this character become, quote unquote, unlocked like a video game. All of that too requires just you're never going to see the same show twice, and everyone is special because the elements are constantly shifting too.
And you got a couple of special guests coming to Chicago. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, so we are kicking things off with the amazing Anjali Bhamani, and also then Abriya Iyengar is coming. So we have these amazing actors and creatives also coming in to contribute to our story. So that again is another little like dash of special sauce. You want to come see Anjali, be on our team Mischief. You want to come see Abriya, be on Team Magic. So that also drastically impacts the way that the show is going to go.
Talk a little bit about just Dungeons and Dragons in general, because it's obviously a game that people play, at home, play with their friends, are connected to. You're spending hours here, and maybe creating a community, at home or online, but to be able to bring it into that theater space, into that communal space. I mean, talk a little bit about, what that looks like from your perspective on stage.
Yeah, I would say I think that the trickiest thing about Dungeons and Dragons is you see many successful iterations of you watch people play the game. And that is phenomenal. But a lot of it is that person is situated at a table and the set is fixed and you watch the story unfold. What's so special about this is theatricized, which is a word that's created for it, which is you are, the actors are your players. Pretty much every prop you see on stage is usable. We are switching costumes. So we are actively putting the story that normally you'd sit and very statically consume, we're putting it on its feet. And you as the audience are changing the story as we go. And what I really love is there are actual consequences to the roles that we make, to the decisions that our audience makes. An easy example is the audience will name many of the characters. The NPCs, or non-playable characters, is the D&D term. Basically, a visiting character in the story that will come and go, but the audience doesn't play as them, but they name them. And even just the virtue of naming a big fancy wizard Steve is so funny because, they're introduced and then we go Steve, and then we build the entire character just off like, who's this? The greatest mage of our age named Steve. Let's dive into that. And then the audience will also create themes and guide us on our way. And so it's not faked. They are very much so creating and inhabiting this story with us, that I think is one of the most special elements, and probably the most, as someone who loves interactive theater, I think that we do it in such a distinct way that people actively know that they contribute and know that they are making it and are a part of it. And that to me is so special, because that's what D&D is about, is you are forming a community. I will also say I found D&D later in life. I certainly didn't grow up knowing anyone who played it. So I think I started playing when I was 27. And I say that as a virtue of, you're never too old to start it. And it is just absolutely phenomenal. And to be an adult who gets to return to just sheer play and imagination is also something that is addictive on stage, when you see everybody in the crowd going absolutely nuts over the littlest roll. And let me tell you, when you roll a 20 and 500 people pop out of their seats screaming like it's a sporting event, I mean, that is, we've landed, there's something gold there, you know?
Yeah, there's no better feeling than that. Final thing here, you're back in Chicagoland, obviously, you know, restaurants, friends, you know, things you're hoping to do here during your off time. And also too, I'm sure the cast is also like, hey, you know, Madelyn, give us your recommendations as well too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Number one, myself and another cast member, Diego Salinas. Diego lives in Chicago. So we have got all the hot dog stops planned out for everyone. I have to give a shout out to Portillo's. I cannot wait to introduce people who have not had it, and as well as the hot beef sandwich, which is a concept I love explaining to non-Chicagoans. So that, plus there's just a ton of other artists and creative shows that I can't wait to introduce everyone to. And again, like, what a treat to get to come home for 7 weeks and celebrate my city, share it with everyone, and also have Chicago celebrate us. Because the last time we were in Chicago, the love and the community that we had is still outstanding. And I can't wait for us to be like, we're back. We're back for you, and let's party.
Well, you are back here August 12th through September 28th, Dungeons and Dragons, the 20 Sided Tavern at Broadway Playhouse at Water Tower 175 East Chestnut, BroadwayChicago.com for those tickets. And obviously, no two shows are the same. See it multiple times. You're here for 7 weeks. Enjoy your time back. Enjoy your amazing meals that you have planned. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. Oh, this was lovely.
Lovely. Thank you so much.